Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading the story of the Giant's Causeway and the kind of legend of how it was formed. I was lucky enough a number of years ago to go and visit the Giant's Causeway, and oh, it's such a magical, romantic, gorgeous place. It's in Antrim in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, and it's just stunning. It's one of those places where you feel like the kind of boundaries between reality and fantasy are blurred because it's just that mystical, it's just magical. I would really recommend you go. Don't know if you got that from what I was saying there. Anyway, I'm going to begin now with the story of the Giant's Causeway. I really hope you enjoy it. Finn McCool was very pleased with himself. He was taking a little gentle exercise, jumping over trees, diving from mountaintops, smashing great stones with his bare hands. "Oh, Finn," giggled the woman, "you're wonderful. So strong and brave and handsome." Finn swaggered and smiled. "It's nothing," he said. "I just like to keep myself fit, that's all." His wife, Blaheen, didn't like it. "You're always bragging and boasting," she said to him. "Someday it will land you in big trouble." Finn laughed. "Don't be daft," he said. "Don't you know I'm strong and brave and handsome? Now give me a kiss, for I'm off to Antrim. Myself and the Fianna are building a bridge to Scotland. There are giants over there that I'm longing to conquer." True story. Blaheen sighed but kissed him tenderly. Finn was in a cheerful mood as he set off for Antrim. It was a pleasant walk. Haws reddened the hedges, sunlight dappled the sleepy glens. He felt so happy that he could not help singing a little tune. By the way, I'm not going to sing. I had a go at trying to sing a little tune and it didn't work, so I'm just going to read you. Fall the doll, dear, only a fool would dare pick a fight with the bold Finn McCool. It sounded so good that he sang it over and over. In no time at all, Finn and the Fianna were in Antrim. They never stopped till the blue-green swish of the sea rolled restlessly before them. Building the bridge was play to Finn. He worked quickly and easily, splitting the stones into splendid pillars and columns. Further and further they stretched out into the ocean. Now and again he thought of what the woman said and wandered off to a rock pool to look at himself. Yes, it was true. He was strong and brave and handsome. Around him the Fianna were respectfully silent as he sang his song. Fall the Daldy row, only a fool would dare pick a fight with the bold Finn McCool. From time to time there came a distant rumble. Is it thunder? Asked the Fianna. But they went on working. Then one of their spies came ashore, tired and gasping. "I've just been to Scotland," he said. "There's a huge giant there called Fathach Mór. He's doing long jumps in the Highlands. You can hear the thumping." "How big is he?" asked Finn. "His shadow stretched all across the Highlands," the spy replied. Thought Finn. That big? Maybe this bridge is not such a good idea after all. But he could not admit that he was nervous, so he kept on building. A few days later, there came a distant whistling. "Is it the wind?" asked the Fianna, but they kept on working. Just then, another spy came ashore, stuttering and trembling. "You won't believe what I've seen," he stammered. "It's the great Fathach Mór. He's a magic little finger with strength of 10 men. He's in training for the long jump to Antrim. You can hear him whistling." Finn's face paled. The strength of 10 men, he thought. I'll never fight him. What will I do? He'll squash me into a pancake. But he could not admit that he was nervous, so he said to the Fianna, "I've just had a message from Blaheen. I must go home at once. You can all take a holiday." He set off himself, and never did a man travel faster through the glens of Antrim. There was no mention now of "Fall the Daldy row." He shook with fear at every footstep, thinking he heard a mighty breath behind him. It was only the north wind practising for the winter. Blaheen was surprised to see him. "You're welcome," she cried, kissing him. "And is the Giant's Causeway finished already?" Blaheen was delighted. "No indeed," replied Finn, "but I couldn't bear to leave you for so long." She was so happy to have her husband back. She roasted a leg of venison in celebration, but Finn didn't eat any. When night came, he kept sitting up in bed listening. He couldn't fool Blaheen. "Finn McCool," she said, "I've known you for a long time. It was more than love for me that brought you home in such a hurry. Now, out with it. What's the matter? So Finn told her. What will I do, Blauheen? He asked. There's the strength of 10 men in his magic little finger. He'll squash me into jelly. Blauheen laughed. Is that all that's troubling you? She asked. Just leave him to me. I'm well able for any man. She got out of bed and sat by the fire, twisting her plaits with her finger. At last she smiled. Get up, Finn, she said. Stoke the fire and fetch me the sack of flour. Then go outside and find 9 flat stones. Finn did as he was told, though she wouldn't reveal her plan. She worked all night making 10 oatcakes. In each she put a large flat stone, all except the last. This one she marked with her thumbprint. It was dawn now, and the house floated with the smell of baking. Blauheen turned to Finn. Go and cut down some wood, she said. You must make an enormous cradle. Finn worked all morning, smoothing and shaping. The cradle was just finished when there was a mighty rumble and the dishes shook on the dresser. It's him, squealed Finn. Don't worry, said Blauheen. Put on this bonnet. Now, into the cradle and leave me to do the talking. Finn was scarcely ready when a knock came outside and set the house rattling. Blauheen opened the door, but all she could see was a pair of knees. Does Finn McCool live here? Boomed a great voice above her. He does, said Blauheen, though he's away at the moment. He's gone to capture the giant Fathic Moor. I'm Fathic Moor, bellowed the giant. I've been searching for Finn everywhere. I've come to kill him. Blauheen laughed. Did you ever see Finn? She asked. Sure, you're only a baby compared with him. He'll be home shortly and you can see for yourself. But now that you're here, would you do me a favour? What is it? Asked the giant. The wind is from the east today, said Blauheen, and it's blowing straight in the door. Could you turn the house around? I forgot to ask Finn. Certainly, said Fathic Moor, as he spun the house with his little finger. Finn gulped and Blauheen's plaits trembled, but she merely smiled. Thank you, she said. Now, I've one more thing to ask. The well has run dry and Finn was supposed to lift up the mountain this morning. There's spring water underneath it. Do you think you could get me some? Of course, shouted the giant as he scooped out of a hole in the mountain. He scooped out the hole in the mountain, the size of a crater. Finn shook with fear in the cradle, and even Blauheen turned pale, but she thanked the giant graciously and invited him in. Stooping and grunting, he struggled through the door. The earth shook, mugs and platters clattered to the floor. Blauheen wiped a chair for him and set it by the table. Though you and Finn are enemies, you are still a guest, she said. Have some fresh bread. And she put oatcakes before him. Fathic Moor began to eat. Almost at once he gave a piercing yell and spat out 2 teeth. What kind of bread is this? He screeched. I've broken my teeth on it. I'm sorry about that, Blauheen said. Finn always eats it. Hearing this, the giant took another bite. Blood and thunder, he roared. There's 2 more going. Those cakes are hard as stone. How can you say such a thing? Asked Blauheen. Even the child in the cradle eats them. And she gave Finn the cake with the thumbprint. Goo ga ga, growled Finn, eating every crumb. For the first time, Fathic Moor looked at the cradle. Whose child is that? He asked in wonder. That's Finn's son, said Blauheen. The giant was silent for a moment. And how old is he? He asked then. Just 10 months, replied Blauheen. He's a fine, healthy lad. When he grows up, he'll be just like his dad. Can he talk? Asked the giant. Not yet, but you should hear him roar. Finn can't bear to hear him. He'd kill anyone who upsets him. At once Finn began to yell. Quick, quick, cried Blauheen. Let him suck your little finger. If Finn comes home and hears him, he'll be in such a temper. With an anxious glance at the door, the giant gave Finn his finger to suck. Crunch, crunch, snap. Finn cracked his teeth through the bone and bit off the giant's magic little finger. Ah! Screamed the giant as he slithered to the floor. Screeching and roaring, he bolted from the house. Finn leaped from the cradle in bib and bonnet and danced his Blauheen round the kitchen. Round the kitchen. The giant's causeway was never finished. It stands there to this day, its huge stepping stones stretching towards Scotland, and maybe Fathic Moor wanders there still, crying and moaning and screeching for his finger. But it's probably just the north wind, practising for winter. The end.